Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Donkeytron, your host of the Full Healed podcast and the soon-to-be Donkeytron video gaming channel. I guess the Troncast. So, I'm coming at you solo this week because Jesus couldn't make it. He's pretty busy this week. He's got school, work, and a bunch of other stuff, bunch of homework, and he just couldn't make it. So, I was gonna wait for him to record till next week, but the finale for the Cruiserweight Classic was this Wednesday, so kind of want to give you guys an update and just my thoughts on it. I wanted him to be here, to bounce my ideas off of and stuff like that, but I couldn't get a hold of him, so I'll just give you guys a quick recap of what happened and who won the tournament, so there will be spoilers in here. So let's get started. The Cruiserweight Classic quarterfinals. So it was, I think actually we didn't go over one of the quarterfinals for the last week. We didn't go over Brian Kendrick versus Kota Ibushi, nor did we cover T.J. Perkins versus Rich Swann for the quarterfinals. So Brian Kendrick and Kota Ibushi was a fucking badass match. Kendrick won me over. I kind of wanted to see a lot more from him. I didn't see anything that caught my eye right away until this one against Kota Ibushi. Maybe they just had really good chemistry, but Kendrick was working Kota Ibushi's surgically repaired neck. I'm not sure how long ago it was repaired, but he had his neck repaired, and Kendrick decided to start working on it as a focal point during the match, and Ibushi was selling really, really good. So the match all around was a badass match. Ibushi wound up advancing to the semifinals. And the match after that was T.J. Perkins versus Rich Swann. I guess Perkins was an underdog going into this one too. I don't know what that means because there aren't odds that I know of on betting for these shits and stuff. But the crowd favorite was Rich Swann because he plays up to the crowd. He comes out with like a dancing song and he's dancing and he gets the crowd into it. So he's a fan favorite. T.J. Perkins has I guess a flashy gimmick. He wears Nikes. He wears I don't know, newest clothes. He's dabbing. He's like a millennial, I guess, gimmick or something. I don't know, a flashy guy. I'm just making shit up. But I just don't like his gimmick, so I've never really got behind the guy. So I wanted Rich Swann to win. They had a really good match because they're both they could both do a lot of high flying. Perkins is more versatile, I guess. He does more submissions, more high flying, more suplexes, slams, stuff like that. And Rich Swann is more high flying. A lot more counters, a lot more flips, stuff like that. And in this one, they had Rich Swann jumping out to the outside against Perkins to hit him with something, and lands standing up and messes up his knee, which plays into Perkins' submission. He goes for a knee bar. So he started working the knee because of the injury that he had sustained to jumping out and stuff like that. So he eventually locks in his submission, the knee bar, and that was it. Rich Swann had a tap, and we are on to the semifinals with Gran Metalik taking on Zack Sabre Jr. and Kota Ibushi taking on T.J. Perkins. That's going to be, it was a hell of a fucking finale, but that was the finale. The first match that we had for the night was Gran Metalik versus Zack Sabre Jr. My favorite match of the night. They had 4 different matches. The final, and then they had right before the final Ciampa and Gargano versus Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar. So those two guys were, Alexander and Dar were previous contenders in the Cruiserweight Classic, so it's nice that they're giving them a shot too. Gargano and Ciampa, they're kind of having a rivalry on NXT with the Revival, so they're kind of showcasing them, give them a win, give them a push. I hope they win next TakeOver or whatever they'll do, when next title shot they get. But yeah, no, it started off with Gran Metalik, Zack Sabre Jr., and then Kota Ibushi versus TJ Perkins to determine the final. So it was a 2-hour final, starting off with the semifinals, tag match, and then final. Gran Metalik versus Zack Sabre Jr. Gran Metalik being from Mexico. I guess he's got like a mariachi metal song when he comes in. And I just never thought they would give him the push that they would. He wears a mask and he's Mexican. I just didn't think they would push him this far. I thought he would have lost in his last match, but here he is in the semifinals. I always thought he started off really slow and kind of picked it up to a really exciting match, and overall it was a good match. In this one, he started off strong, and it ended really, really strong as well. So Zack Sabre Jr. is more of a technician, more of a submission guy. He slowed it down a little bit, but compared to his other matches, I was very critical of all his other matches. I thought they were kind of boring. And this one, he turned it up. His aggression, he was a lot more furious. He was hitting this guy with a lot more stuff. Like at one point, he hit him with a soccer kick. He was doing a lot of more running attacks on Gran Metalik and landing in some submissions. But eventually, Gran Metalik landed the Metalik driver, which is a Michinoku driver, and got the pin on Zack Sabre Jr., advancing to the semifinals. Kota Ibushi versus TJ Perkins was the second match to determine the final. Not really a fan of Perkins. Don't like his gimmick. And Ibushi was really impressive versus Cedric Alexander, I think, in his second match of the Cruiserweight Classic. But Perkins took it. It was a good match. But how it went down, Perkins started focusing on Ibushi's neck, and Ibushi had a surgically repaired neck. So they kind of focused in on that, and Perkins went for a knee bar. This guy got out of it, and then eventually went back to the knee bar and went in for like a knee bar slash, I don't know what you call it, where he cranks his head back, but which led to Ibushi tapping. So the reason that I think me and Jesus thought that they were going to push Ibushi all the way through because he's popular in Japan. He's popular and he was the favorite to begin with. Perkins not so much the favorite, and Perkins wound up winning. But we think Ibushi didn't sign a contract, so he wanted to do part-time between WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling, from my understanding. And WWE wasn't going to have it, so I guess they had Perkins in that spot just in case Ibushi wasn't going to sign. So Perkins advances, and then we have the tag match. Gargano, Ciampa, Alexander, and Dar. And it was a good match, back and forth. Good showcase for the Cruiserweights right before they go on Raw. They get showcased on the live finale. And Ciampa and Gargano win, giving them a further push for the titles. And then we move on to the finale. The Gran Metalik versus TJ Perkins. Right before the beginning of the match, Triple H walks into the ring and announces that they'll be fighting for the Raw's light or Cruiserweight title. So we thought that me and Jesus had discussed it, we thought they should fucking bring in a belt. There's no way that they were going to bring in the whole division and not have a belt for them. Because they're not going to let any of these Cruiserweights win the heavyweight titles. So they gave them a belt. Looks fucking ugly as shit, but whatever. I don't know what's going on. It's like purple leather and it's silver plate. It's like silver plated. And that's the Cruiserweight belt. No other color. There's really no other color on it besides the silver plating and purple belt. So yeah, he introduced it in the beginning of the match, and then Gran Metalik versus this TJ Perkins. It didn't start off the same as the first one, as Metalik versus Zack Sabre Jr., because he started off super fast, but it still started off really exciting. And TJ Perkins working his all-around style, I guess, working more submission, slowing it down, because Metalik, he's a luchador. He's a lot more high-flying, a lot more flips, a lot more of that stuff. Let's see. Perkins locked in his knee bar. This guy got out of it. And then how he wound up winning the match, Perkins wins. So Gran Metalik goes up for a move off the top rope, and Perkins counters by tripping him off the top rope and going for the knee bar right after. And he goes for a regular knee bar, and then he goes for I guess he locks in the knees, so it looks like it's a figure 4 knee bar. I don't know. It looks weird. It doesn't look like it hurts even more than it should, but I guess it does look like it hurts more than it should. But yeah, he submitted Gran Metalik, and Triple H and Regal present him with the big old trophy and the Cruiserweight title, which again, purple belt, fucking silver plated. Not too great, but at least they got a fucking belt to fight over on Raw, which is fucking awesome. Raw and SmackDown sucked. I'll see if I can get Jesus to talk about it when I get a hold of him. I'll hold off till then. I just thought I needed to tell you guys about the Cruiserweight Classic for people that are actually listening to this, which is probably just me. But for anyone that is listening to it, I kind of felt responsible to bring the episode, seeing as how the Cruiserweight Classic, it was yesterday. The final was yesterday. This episode needed to happen. Sorry it took so long. I'll try to be more prompt next time, as if I know Jesus won't be able to make it, I'll try to release him on time. But I also want to talk about UFC 203 a little bit, because CM Punk fought on it. So we had, first we had Uriah Faber, though, versus Jimmy Rivera. I thought Uriah Faber was going to win just because he has a name. Fucking retarded. I didn't really look into this card too much, just the top 3 fights. Jesus actually knew who Jimmy Rivera was, and Jimmy Rivera won. Even after getting fucking eye poked by Faber. I'm tired of seeing fucking Faber eye poke everybody, dude. It looked really like it was on purpose. I'm not saying he's a cheater. I guess I am saying he's a cheater if it's on purpose. But these guys complain about this guy low blowing and eye poking, and it seems to happen every single match for him. So I don't know, man. I like Faber, but they either have to do something about the gloves or start taking points so these guys don't do that shit anymore. And then we had CM Punk versus Mickey Gall. If you guys haven't heard by now, Punk got choked out in 2 minutes and like 14 seconds. He fought off Mickey Gall as long as he could, but it was a brown belt versus a white belt, literally. And Mickey Gall choked him out. But UFC made their money, and that's what they wanted. People tuned in to see what was going to happen. I think the only people that are really mad are people that don't like the WWE and don't like CM Punk. That's the only thing I can come to terms with, because how can you hate a guy for fucking stepping in an octagon and getting his ass kicked? That sucks enough as it is for you just to hate him for getting paid. It's not his fault Dana White wanted more people to watch UFC. So yeah, CM Punk said he wanted to fight again, and hopefully he doesn't get cut. I don't know if he fights under the UFC. I don't know if they give him a second chance. Definitely not pay-per-view. But that's how they would make their money off him. So if they were to book him, it'd probably be another pay-per-view. But Mickey Gall, man, it looks like he's got a promising career if they book him right and they get him fights like they did for Punk. Get this guy a 3-0 fighter. Look for a 4-0 fighter for him. He hasn't fought any professionals. You guys have looked for nothing but amateurs for him to get him ready to get someone ready for CM Punk. So get someone ready for Gall. Don't just throw him to the wolves. Let this kid get a career, man. Then we had Fabricio Verdum versus Travis Brown. So I'm not sure in what round happened. I think it might have been the first round. So Verdum threw almost like an overhand punch, came down on this guy's hand and broke his finger. And Brown asked for a timeout, and the referee didn't ever call a timeout. So Verdum went in for the punch and punched Brown while timeout was being called. It was really weird. Not Verdum's fault at all. And Brown didn't let the commissioner guy look at it because he knew he was going to stop it. So he kind of just popped it in and then said, no, let's go. He didn't let him look at it. And they continued the match with this guy with his broken finger. Actually, Verdum started off the match with a fucking flying kick that almost knocked out Brown, which was crazy. But yeah, then the broken finger, and then it kind of slowed down. Just Verdum kind of just trying to put it on this guy. Nothing really happening, no takedowns, no nothing. Just more stand up, but not really exciting stand up. And so Verdum picks up the unanimous decision, and Travis Brown's coach is talking shit to Verdum. And Verdum isn't having it, so he's talking shit back to him. And he fucking, teeps Brown's coach in the chest. And then they all get separated and shit like that. And then Verdum's hand gets raised and Travis leaves. It was funny. It was WWE-esque. And it's funny having CM Punk on the fucking card and this shit happening. And then the main event was the belt on the line. Miocic versus Alistair Overeem in Ohio. This was all in Ohio. Miocic's hometown. Starts off and Overeem clocks him with a short... I'm not sure if it was a right or a left, but it was a short fucking punch. Fucking caught Miocic. Dropped him, and in my opinion, if Overeem would have gone for the ground and pound and chose his shots, I think he would have gotten the victory, being it so early in the fight and him having power and this guy being kind of stunned. But instead he went for a guillotine, and Miocic fucking fought out of it, got up, and had Overeem fucking running. Like literally running. Like to get away from this guy. And eventually, what had happened? Did Overeem go for the takedown? Or did he get caught with a punch? Well, it wound up with Miocic on top of Overeem. Miocic postured up and just landed some fucking strikes. This guy went limp and he landed like two more, where they have it where their fucking head doesn't even come up off the floor, where they just get punched and it's just like boof, boof. And they don't even have room to fucking bounce their head. It was just sick. Sickly awesome. So Miocic successfully defends his title, and it's interesting to see what's going to happen now, because Verdum won his match. Stipe wants some time off because he just fought 2 in a row within the last 5 months. And Kane just fucking won too, so I think he beat Brown as well at 200. Yeah, I think it was Brown at 200 that he defeated. So Verdum and Velasquez have a win over Brown in the past 3 events, so I think they're probably going to put them together, and the winner faces Miocic. Yeah, so that was the Cruiserweight Classic, and that was UFC 203 in Ohio, and I'll try to get Jesus for next week, see if he's available, but like I said, he's got class and he's got school and work, and that's definitely way more important than this. So that was the Full Heel Podcast, I guess. Brought to you by Donkeytron. Hopefully next week I can get a hold of Jesus and we can do this, me and him, bounce our ideas off each other, but yeah, I just went full heel. Peace.